Hi everyone! Today we have the huge finale, the end of the Kishimoto update era. And yes, this last batch of news ends with him announcing he's done posting and giving out info. So this really is it. In this final update, we get more about how Spark the Electric Jester 3 is influencing the next mainline Sonic game, words I never thought I'd say. Also, Kishimoto finally coming around on Sonamy and the main series, gameplay changes for update 2 and 3, new details on the playable characters added to the third one, which Dark Sonic comes up again for a third time, and literally so much more. Kishimoto went out with a bang. But before we get into Kishimoto's first tweet, the internet is a scary place. Anyone can find anything, including your legal name, your personal email, your address, your phone number, your family, and even the stuff you thought you deleted. This information is accessible because of data brokers. They profit by selling your information to robocallers, telemarketers, scammers, and basically anyone that wants to learn more about you. And that's why I'm excited to tell you about today's sponsor, Aura. Aura will identify data brokers that are exposing your information and automatically submit opt-out requests on your behalf. They'll even opt you out of junk mail and telemarketing lists. And if you go to aura.com/Sonic, you can try it 2 weeks for free. And if you hate it, you can cancel at no cost. But once you see all the dark info they dig up, I'm certain you're going to want to keep it. Aura also monitors your emails and passwords to see if they were involved in a data breach and exposed on the dark web. Aura's app also features a VPN, password manager, real-time credit and identity theft monitoring, and it protects your device from pretty much every malware on the internet. And with my link, you'll get a 2-week free trial, and you'll be shocked how much of your private information Aura finds exposed. So go to aura.com/Sonic, and the link will be in the description, or you can scan the QR code to go right there. But with that being said, let's get back into the video.
Let's go. Hey, yo, this is our show.
Now next, he gives us the tiniest, but still somewhat significant tease about the second update, something we've heard literally nothing about. And for obvious reasons, as the first update just released, so they're still pretty early on production, as well as the fact that the second update, while significant, isn't going to be nearly as significant as the third, the finale, the big boy. Literally, look up the name of Call of Duty 3. It's called the Big Red One. That's what we're calling update 3, the Big Red One. But that aside, a user writes, "Hello Kishimoto, I would like to ask about the Sonic Frontiers Anniversary mode scheduled for the second update. Has it already started? Also, what kind of configuration will it be? Thank you, grinning emoji." And Kishimoto puts the crumbs of cheese in the rat trap for us, writing, "Hello, Anniversary mode is actually birthday mode, because the Frontiers came out in November. It's not going to be the anniversary. Production is moving in parallel with the first update. It's about celebrating Sonic's birthday. But sorry, the details are still a secret. Please look forward to it." And what I find interesting about this one was that it was worked on at the same time as the first update, so presumably it's a bit farther in production than we think. Which, I mean, if it releases in 2 months, I guess it would have to be pretty far in production. And within the last video, them talking about putting Spin Dash in update 3, and us seeing placeholder files for a Spin Dash in as little as update 1, means it's very possible they might not even wait for update 3. Spin Dash literally might drop in 2 months, which is insane to me. It's assumed this is going to drop on June 23rd, as, you know, it's birthday mode, that's Sonic's birthday. But realistically, it'll probably be a few days before or after. I doubt they want to compete with Sonic Origins Plus, but my birthday's also on June 23rd, so if they do drop it on Sonic's birthday, I'm not going to complain.
Probably stream it even.
However, next is an issue that gets pointed out to Kishimoto, and he actually had a really funny response. But this whole thing caused such a dumb, typical Sonic Twitter controversy, to the point where his first tweet got over 40,000 views. So they attach these 2 images and write, "Kishimoto-san, currently in Sonic Frontier, there is a problem with Sonic's skin. It seems that the game internal resolution scales up the CDRF texture. Could it be fixed in a future patch?" And it's hard for the layman eye to notice, but it definitely is broken. Although I know a lot of contrarians online are going to be like, I actually like this look. Which, regardless, even this person and some of the people in the replies that like it, this is an objective error. I mean, literally, the texture is messed up. If you like how it looks, that's cool, but we really do need to stop applauding bugs, guys. It's getting cringy. And these bug sympathizers, Kishimoto is not one of, because he responds appropriately, writing, "Oh my god! Thank you for contacting us. I will investigate. Thank you for your report." So this is definitely something that will get fixed. I mean, he even used the Lord's name in vain. All kidding aside, only nerds are gonna notice this, and I'm not even joking. Like, if you notice this, I have bad things to say about you and your romantic life. Now, this next tweet got so big that it's by far the most viewed and engaged of all of these recent posts. So, a user writes, is Sonic single or is he in a romantic relationship with Amy? I'm sure Sonic has some kind of love interest. Would you agree with that? And Kishimoto responds, being cryptic but somewhat transparent with, Sonic is single. But what about lovers? What about Emmy? I'm also looking forward to seeing what kind of love Sonic will have in the future. And I mean, obviously that's a mistranslation for Amy, which when Sonamy Twitter got a hold of this tweet, they went wild with it. And the haters came out of the woodworks as well. It was an Avengers Civil War of the Sonic community, something I frankly couldn't care less about. But that said, I am pro Sonamy. Let's be real, it's the true canon one. If they want to be slaying gay, I'm okay with Son Knuckles as well. But those are the only two options. Your choice, Sega. Next, Kishimoto responds to a thread by Andrew Tate's secondary Sonic fan account. And Andrew writes, a Sega official admitted that only male hedgehogs can be super. But does this rule apply to the game, or is it subject to change? This is the 6th tweet in this thread. Sorry if it bothers you. And the rest of the thread isn't relevant, as Kishimoto only responds to the 6th tweet. And he writes, thank you very much for your letter. This is the first time I've heard that only male hedgehogs can be super. Whether or not you can become a super depends on the inevitability of the gameplay, I think. Man, he is not sure of himself. And to keep it real with you guys, I don't really know for sure what inevitability of the gameplay means. I don't even know what's inevitable about it at all. I assume he means in like the circumstance depending on the game, what's going on. But honestly, I don't even think Kishimoto knows what he's talking about with him ending, I think. If there's a circumstance where someone like Amy is playable and gets a hold of the 7 emeralds, then he clearly doesn't see why not. It would obviously just have to be the right circumstances. Something that's based, as it makes no sense why be only male hedgehogs. They never even said this. It's not like giving birth.
Everyone knows you need your pee-pee to go super.
This is about as dumb as arguing over the shade of blue he is. Next, Kishimoto calls back to something we covered in one of my previous videos about Dark Sonic, but this time he has a very different tone about it. So a user writes, have you ever thought about adding Dark Sonic to Frontiers or future Sonic games? I think it's crazy he was only shown in the anime for a couple minutes and never brought up again. And Kishimoto responds, my thoughts are, first of all, what kind of gameplay would you enjoy and be surprised by? Kishimoto, you can't ask people what they're going to be surprised by. They don't know. If there is a cast that needs Dark Sonic, I think it will appear. For me, gameplay comes first and then casting, which previously he said since it was from Sonic X, it'd be almost impossible to bring over. And a lot of people got mad at me in the comments. They're like,
what did the games incorporate from Sonic X? Nothing.
Well, I'll just start listing them off. Jason Griffith, Mike Pollock.
Precisely.
So much that they became longtime cast members and are still beloved to this day. Elements doesn't necessarily have to be story elements. I just mean elements from the show that they brought into mainline Sonic. I mean, after Sonic X, they even changed his entire personality to be more like that Sonic, because he was just Sonic X Sonic is just so likable. To a real shame, people do not feel the same towards Chris. Now next, we get him trying to be subtle and secretive about the specific details of Update 3, which he sort of successfully does, but accidentally spills a little tease in a reply to a post writing, I'm so excited about the additional characters in the 3rd update of Sonic Frontiers. I used to enjoy playing Sonic Heroes when I was little, but if you ask me, does each character's skill have the same great energy as Sonic Heroes? And with it literally not even being the next update, he's talking about Update 3, he's clearly not going to give too much away, but he does respond with, of course, I love Heroes. Ooh, don't tell Sonic Twitter that one. Additional character skills, sorry, are still a secret. Please look forward to it. And yes, the skills themselves are a secret, but did you not just read it, bozo? Previously, it was up in the air if these new characters would just be reskinned Sonic, or if they would have different motion and controlling, but no, each character is going to have an ability unique to them, and what that ability is remains a mystery for now. However, we now know they will have an ability. These aren't just going to be reskinned Sonics, which I'm so happy I could cry, because I really did think they were just going to reskin Sonic, maybe make him fly for Tails, climb walls for Knuckles, but that's about it. However, that is not the case. Now next, Kishimoto has been giving little teases about the next mainline game being hopefully everyone's favorite of all time. But he gives something specific, wholesome, and exciting all at the same time, in response to a user who writes, "Hi Kishimoto-san, what was your favorite Sonic game to direct so far?" And Kishimoto responds, that's a difficult question. I'd say Frontiers from the ones I've made so far, but the truth is that my next work is my masterpiece. You all expect that.
Blushing smiley.
And the confidence here. This has never been seen before. A true alpha male at work. I couldn't be more impressed. Kishimoto is basically like the Elon Musk of Sonic Team, except for he doesn't own anything or have that much creative say. However, next, Kishimoto chimes in again, confirming a piece of really good real-world news going on at Sega that I had no clue about. So, a user quote tweets this post with a cited page that says, Sega will increase the average monthly salary of its employees by 30%, something that's actually awesome and a really significant number. So, the quote tweet says, I'm not certain about the budget of actual games increasing yet, but the news is actually about a pay rise. To which Kishimoto responds back, confirming this, writing, yes! Exclamation mark. I have also heard the explanation about this salary increase. So just another wholesome W coming out of this. There's a lot of reasons Sega's able to do this, and I've been personally following their finances since it tickles my autism brain, but Sega in the past couple years has been phasing out Plinko and a bunch of other IRL arcades and stuff they had in Japan. It was a huge money suck, and their revenue tanked in 2020 from it. So doing this probably saved a ton of money as they were operating at a loss in those fields toward the end. Plus, with game prices increasing, multiple successful launches, including its daughter company Atlas, who just freed Persona to like a bunch of consoles. All of this meaning Sega is rolling in cash right now. Paying their employees 30% more is the most ethical way to distribute that, and I'm actually really happy about this news. Every day, Japan is just so based, and I'm not there! Now, this next one is another sit down as he goes again in the Spark the Electric Jester 3 after being shown it last time and having some vague familiarity. Since then, he's shown that he's serious about doing his homework, and when he replied, I'll consider it, he really was considering it. So, a user writes, have you had time to finish Spark the Electric Jester 3? There are a lot of ideas for combat, maybe not the combat, and level design in that game. I'd love to see in the next 3D Sonic game, like a heavy attack button and more open levels. Which again, I love that game and it has some awesome level design, but I firmly think that the way combat disrupts speed levels, it's just kind of tedious and bland, is not one of the things it does right. Which, regardless of my opinion, Kishimoto responds back writing, yes, it was very helpful. I was able to analyze the game design philosophy, so I'll try it out in the update as soon as possible if I can incorporate it without waiting for the next game. Meaning, whatever you think about Spark's combat, even if you disagree with me, it's a W for you guys, because he's literally saying, I'm either going to incorporate it in Update 3 or it's going to be in the sequel, but I am doing this. It's so crazy to me that a game he acknowledges is clearly Sonic inspired is now inspiring the actual Sonic director. Wild times, or should I say, end times. But moving on from that W in our depressing reality, Kishimoto fires off on a bunch of people complaining about the fourth island being too hard, and I gotta say, some of y'all are actual babies, wah crying. One, the fourth island where you climb the towers, there's platforms that you hit at the top and they make it so you can climb back to any spot almost instantly. So even if you fall, you're fine. A lot of people miss this, so my suggestion would be to make it have a gloss or glow to stand out to the player a bit more, but at the same time, I mean, it's purple. If they can't figure it out, dumb. Second, the platforming on the fourth island is the only instance of any level of challenge in any platforming across the entire game. So I personally enjoyed it a lot, and I wouldn't want it to be any easier. If it were even slightly easier, I'd just be bored and feel like the fourth island is more of a waste than it already is. Like, it's already so boring. Why do you guys want to make it more boring? And they write, and I'm gonna try not to laugh, it's been a month since I left Leia Island without clearing a single tower. This is impossible for light users. I'm addicted to giving up and doing Kirby Discovery of the Stars. Sonic Frontiers is ridiculously difficult. In particular, Leia Island does not respond to the target cursor judgment on the Switch. Many people quit on Leia Island. I'm sorry, hun, I think you're the only one that quit on that though. And Kishimoto responds very reasonably with, thanks for letting me know. To which this actually insane. To be fair, they're really Japanese, so maybe it's like, oh wait, it can't be a mistranslation then. Jeez, I'm stupid. Never mind. Well, they respond, only Leia has no fishing spots. So there is no salvation. If it's PS4, it may be possible to clear it because the reaction speed is good. What? This PS4 and the Switch are about the same. My brain is like melting. This take is so stupid. But since the processing speed of the Switch version is so slow, I think clearing Leia Island is considerably difficult. I can't move forward unless Sega updates.
Crying laughing emoji.
Bruh, if you keep having these bad of takes, Sega's gonna update a Hitman to come to your house. And the more I think about it, I'm starting to think maybe it's an issue on the Japanese version. Maybe their game's different, benefit of the doubt, I don't know. Because another Japanese user writes, and they don't even at Kishimoto, I don't know how he found this, but they write, dangerous, dangerous, dangerous Sonic's Leia Island. It is a frustrating stage. Urgh. Which you guys told me the W's mean like the equivalent of lol, I guess. A stand bread that didn't even come out with EP or Elden Ring came out. That part just doesn't make sense to me. To which Kishimoto responds, thanks for letting me know. This other person made a take and they wrote, in terms of recommendation, they're saying you should recommend Forces over Frontiers. I can't with these people. I was just going on about how based and cool Japan is, and now you guys are doing this to me? You're doing this to me? Also, another user saying they're stuck at Leia Island. Also Japanese. I'm seeing a trend here. I don't know why. Maybe their game really is different. I don't know. However, theirs is epic because, yes, they're like, it's hard. I couldn't beat it. But they just ended it with, I just love Sonic because he's cute. Okay, based. Guys, if you struggled on the 4th island, I just want you to know you're bad at games, your reflexes are poor, and you need to get better. There's nothing wrong with the game, but there is something wrong with the person playing it, and that's you. And finally, the last one. This literally is the finale tweet. I think the 4th island tweets and all the copy paste responses he gave actually broke him, because in a final tweet, in a response to nobody, he writes, thank you for your comments. Interacting with all of you has been very stimulating and encouraging. I had a valuable experience for a short time. I've done my best to answer everyone's questions, but now it's time to focus on the production of the update, so I'll refrain from answering. He then follows himself up with, but no matter how busy I am, I will continue to read your comments. I'm sorry. And I think that's the end of this short-lived era, as his tweets are now very sparse, meaning my opportunity to make him a document, reach out to him, it's now over and closed. At the same time, I was able to make these videos, which I'm really happy and proud of. I think they're really good and funny. And also, let's be real, I was never going to write that document, so I'll take what I can get. After this, only a handful of tweets have been made, and none of them were really of significance. I'll obviously update you guys if something changes and there's like a whole flood of new ones, but as of now, there's nothing. So for now, Morio Kishimoto is gone, and you guys can get a breather in different content. I know a lot of you like this series and all the reveals Kishimoto's been dropping, but I also know a lot of you haven't liked it and have been like,
Okay, you're not Bo Blacks. Stop reading tweets.
Sonic says, join my Discord. It's in the description. I need more people in it, okay? It's dead. I want to do things. I want to do community things, but I need to weed out the cringe, okay? There's too many cringy people in there. I need to get rid of the cringe, St. Patrick and kick out the cringe, and immigrate all the funny people into the server. You can follow my Twitter, but there's no point in me plugging it because every time I say it, nobody follows it. At Sonic_show, make a change. Be the change you want to see. Like the video if you liked. Subscribe because you know you want to. Come on, look at yourself. You know you want to sub. And hit the bell because you want to be notified when I drop videos, because I rarely do, and they're always bangers. All right, lots of love and peace.
Peace.
Like and sub now.